When you're young, you imagine fame as noise, crowds screaming, cameras flashing, a life that finally feels bigger than you ever dreamed. For Colin Firth, that dream came true. What he didn't expect was how quietly everything he loved would almost fall apart. For nearly 24 years, Colin Firth and his wife Livia were held up as proof that real love could survive Hollywood. No scandals, no chaos, just devotion, family, and a marriage that seemed unbreakable. From the outside, it looked serene, permanent, safe. It wasn't. When their marriage finally ended, the shock wasn't just the separation itself. It was Colin's response. There was no public anger, no dramatic heartbreak. Instead, there was calm, distance, and an acceptance that hinted at a far more complicated truth. What role did Livia's affair really play, and how did a deeply private betrayal spiral into a very public reckoning? More importantly, how did Colin Firth find peace after everything collapsed? Long before Colin believed he had found his forever, his heart belonged to actress Meg Tilly. Their story began quietly in 1989 on the set of Valmont. What started as professional chemistry slowly deepened into something real, away from fame and expectation. Together, they built a grounded life outside Vancouver, raising Meg's 2 children and later welcoming a son of their own, Will. When their romantic relationship ended in 1994, something remarkable happened. Colin didn't leave. He didn't fade out of the picture. He stayed. Not out of obligation, but out of love. He remained present for birthdays, graduations, and life's quiet milestones. Meg has never spoken of him with resentment, only respect. To her, Colin was not just a former partner, he was family. Over time, their bond matured into a lasting friendship, one rooted in trust, gratitude, and mutual care. 2 years later, Colin met Livia Giugioli. Their connection felt immediate, overwhelming, undeniable. They met far from red carpets in Cartagena, Colombia, and what followed felt like fate. Friends later described it as love at first sight. Within 2 years, they married in a centuries-old church in Tuscany, a setting that mirrored the timeless promise they believed they were making. For Livia, love meant transformation. She left Rome, her language, her culture, and rebuilt her life in a new country. Together, they welcomed 2 sons, Luca and Matteo. Colin spoke of fatherhood with reverence and humor, revealing a softness that fame never erased. For years, their marriage was held up as rare proof that long-lasting love could exist under Hollywood lights. But even the strongest foundations can crack quietly. Years into their marriage, an unsettling truth surfaced. Livia revealed that she had once been involved with another man, a relationship she said ended badly and left her feeling unsafe. What began as a private fear became public when Italian authorities were asked to investigate allegations of stalking and harassment. The accused man told a very different story. He claimed the relationship had been consensual, romantic, and ongoing. He alleged messages, photos, and diary entries that contradicted the narrative of fear. 2 opposing truths collided in public view, and suddenly, the image of an unshakable marriage began to fracture. As investigations unfolded, more context emerged. Livia later admitted that she and Colin had separated briefly in 2015, during which time the affair took place. Though Colin and Livia attempted reconciliation, the damage lingered. Trust once broken does not always heal cleanly. In 2019, they announced their final separation. There were no public accusations, no spectacle, only a shared commitment to their children and mutual respect. Love, they acknowledged quietly, had not survived the weight of betrayal and exposure. Healing came not through drama, but through distance and time. Colin later found peace with Maggie Cohn, an American television writer he met while working on The Staircase. Their connection grew privately, without announcement or urgency. When they eventually appeared together in public, it felt natural, unforced, and calm. A relationship built not on intensity, but on ease. Those who saw them together noticed something different. Colin looked lighter, present, unburdened. There was laughter, not performance. Comfort, not spectacle. Through it all, Colin never abandoned his past. He remained devoted to his children, respectful toward Meg Tilly and Livia alike, and unwavering in his belief that family, once built, deserves protection. His sons grew up between cultures, gravitating toward music, a quiet echo of Colin's own first dream before acting ever claimed him. In the end, Colin Firth's story is not about scandal or betrayal. It's about restraint, about choosing dignity over noise, about understanding that love can end without becoming a war. Fame gave him applause, life gave him loss, and wisdom taught him how to walk away with grace.